He trained in the heat of South Carolina, crawled in the mountains of Utah, met the love of his life in Germany, and was deployed 3 times.
And tonight's Veterans Voices, Alicia Huck introduces us to retired U.S. Army Sergeant Todd Kost.
Fulfilled.
Ever since I was a little kid, I just always wanted to be in the military. It was as far back as I can remember. My mom has a picture that I drew when I was in like probably 3rd grade of me in the military. So it's all I ever wanted to be was a soldier.
And that's what Todd Kost did immediately following graduation. And he had his mind set on 2 things.
I said I wanted to be a mechanic and I wanted my first duty station to be in Germany. And they're like, we don't guarantee nothing. So I'm like, okay, well, let me go see what the Army's got to offer. So I went to the Army and they said, yeah.
Basic training took him to Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Probably one of the few people that actually enjoyed basic training. I had so much fun. It was learning all this new stuff, doing soldier stuff. It's what I always wanted.
Todd excelled, qualifying as an expert marksman and even taught other trainees how to shoot. After basic training, he went to Advanced Individual Training, or AIT, and learned mechanics skills. Soon after, during the Cold War in 1985, Todd was sent to Germany.
I was originally supposed to be assigned to the 11th ACR, which is a combat unit right in the Fulda Gap, which is where if Russia was to invade, the West, they were going to come through that gap. And so they were basically the front lines of defense.
While waiting in reception for the bus, a captain came in and said he was looking for drivers and mechanics. And Todd happened to be a mechanic.
He says, you come with me. So I went with him and I ended up getting stationed with the 5th Corps headquarters out of Frankfurt, Germany.
Todd also met Joanne, whose father was a civilian contractor for the government. They married in Heidelberg, Germany in 1987.
Me and my amazing wife, who has put up with a lot in 35 years. A lot of deployments, a lot of time gone, a lot of raising the kids on her own.
Todd remained in Germany for 4 years and then decided to leave the Army. A couple of years later, a friend recommended he join the reserves, and so he did in 1990.
That was a really good unit. I really enjoyed my time with him.
Todd was deployed to the Gulf War in 1991 for about 10 months. Once back in the U.S., he was specifically requested to work support for the National Guard 19 Special Forces Group in Camp Williams, Utah, where he earned his sergeant stripes. This required taking a professional leadership development course and the ability to complete land navigation by himself, which was a piece of cake for Todd since he was taught by one of the best of the best.
A Green Beret taught me land navigation, which, yeah, hardcore. And in the mountains of Utah, no doubt. That was crazy, and it was at night.
In 1994, Todd and Joanne moved to North Dakota, and he joined the 439th Engineers. He was deployed to Iraqi freedom in 2003, and while Todd fought for our country, he says he never had to worry about his kids or home life because of who his wife was. Todd remained in the reserves until he had to medically retire in 2007 due to suffering from ruptured discs in his back while in Iraq.
It was tough at first because I wasn't ready to get out. I wanted to do 30 years. But I did 22 years and I felt like I contributed. I trained some good soldiers that are going to take the next generation forward,
Reporting for KX News in Bismarck, I'm Alicia Huck.
Today, Todd travels for his work with J&S Sanitation out of Beulah.